Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, B Fog. Thinking right out here in the lab. I got a few more lessons out of my little blue book. I got my boys on standby, but I gotta get this astral projection and astral projection symbolism out. This is gonna be a good lesson. Let's go. Right, isn't it? 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. Always a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Okay, so let's get it together. I'll ask the question: do you know you? Where would I get through? That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and to my be true. Here they show you the astral body. When you go to sleep, that's the concept. See the cord right there? It keeps you connected. That's the astral body. That's the astral body. Now we're talking about astral projection. Now this is an Egyptian concept of the spirit, which is your ba. And if you recognize, you can see real close that the head that's on the ba is also the head that's on the person who's laying there. That means he got awakened and his spirit is going home for eternity. Up here, they got pretty much the same concept, but they got the cord connected to the spirit right there. You see the light, everything going on, but that's the concept. But the astral body is the physical. Astral plane is the mental and spiritual. Let's talk about that right quick. Two different concepts. Astral projections is an experience that all of us undergo on a what? Daily basis. When we what? Go to sleep. The dream world. That's the astral world where you don't need the body. The mind is gone. The spirit and mind does its own thing. Okay, that's the astral plane. However, it is usually forgotten. Why? Because it is a low powered projection over which our consciousness, our conscious mind has no control over. We're not conscious while we're asleep. So what's going on in our mind, we're not aware of. Okay? Essentially, astral projection is an altered state of consciousness. Why you say that? Your higher level is there. You're not with it. It's above you. It done went past you, and you don't have control over that. So when we are asleep, we naturally alter our state of consciousness. If it's a good dream, a good subconscious concept, it's gonna feel good. You're gonna enjoy it, yeah. But if it's hellish, you're gonna have dreams chasing, falling, all kind of crazy stuff. But that's because you're not in control. When you learn how to lucid dream through daily meditation and getting control of this thing we got here, conscious mind, you get better control over it. You can control it even while you sleep. That's what the higher consciousness is all about. But the primary aim of astral projection is to project our conscious mind out of the physical, the veil of consciousness, and into what we call the astral light body. That's the inside of us, not the outside. We possess. During our sleep, this process happens spontaneously. Once you close your eyes, your third eye open. If your third eye open, your subconscious takes over, and they say the lights go out, everything happens. Your mind gonna run wild, and because you're unconscious of it. However, with daily practice of what meditation and intent daily practice. However, with practice and intent, individuals can learn to be able to control the direct their what? Their projection, achieving a fully conscious experience in the astral plane, aka lucid dreaming. This thing here is bad. This thing here is bad. If you know how to master it, you can do all kinds of things. That's the concept. But what happened? It's so good. You can pick one aspect of it and ride that and be good. Okay, but by understanding and mastering this thing right here, this altered state, now you can now consciously explore the astral realm. I just try to explain that to you. When you are controlling this thing, even in your sleep, you can navigate and do what you need to do. And you're gaining what? Insight and your own personal experience that goes beyond the physical limitations of our body and the five senses. You don't need the body to go to the astral plane. You don't need the body to get to the next level of consciousness. You don't need the body in the end when it's time to leave this place. The body stays here. The spirit, if it's enlightened, goes home. If not, go find another body. But the astral plane is all mental. And this practice allows you to now what? To tap into your deeper consciousness and understanding of your existence and your interactiveness of the various planes of consciousness. Waking, sleep, deep sleep, conscious, unconscious, and subconscious. All those are states of mind that we can go through instantly. You can jump from one to the other mentally, physically. You can't do none of those things. Hence the limitation of the physical body and the senses. Okay. But as previously explained, hopefully in this book, the body functions as an organic computer that stimulates reality through the what? The brain, spinal column, the tree of good and evil. Okay, the cardiovascular system, the tree of life. All right, and the rest of the body's systems with the understanding when we leave the physical body, and we will leave the physical body, we all know that. What happened? Now, even in sleep, we are in essence departing from this earthly bound situation, simulation, excuse me, because the body is the what? Technology that's running the simulation of the physical existence of this world. However, the term leaving the body is a misnomer. Why? Because we are not truly leaving the body. That's why you see the cord connected. We're not really leaving, but you're leaving, but you're not leaving, so to speak. That's why they show you the cord. That's why they keep the cord connected to show you you're gonna come back. All right. But that's what they say in the dream world, the astral plane. All right. But rather all bodies or planes really all exist within what? Within our own consciousness. We are simply altering our conscious state to what? Perceive a higher or lower of what we call reality. Higher, good, lower, bad. You got to have opposites to make anything whole, okay? So, but in this ultra state, we transcend our physical limitations imposed by our bodily hardware, and we tap into the broader spectrum of existence, which is spiritual and mental. The physical body serves as a what? Interface for our earthly experiences. Again, we're spirit beings having a human experience to what? Get to the afterlife. But the earth life, we have to pass the test of what? Becoming conscious to know who we are. That's why we're having a human experience for a reason. Not to become rich and famous. We just did that last time. I ain't got to go back. But when you're simulating reality in your manner akin to what? Like a computer running complex programs. And we call it living. And by shifting our consciousness, we move beyond this simulation. Thus, we have the astral projection. It is not about physically departing from the body, but about shifting our awareness to experience these higher dimensions that seem to be out of body experiences, but it's just all in the mind. Okay? Now, the ancients understood what? That their minds and consciousness were not confined to the limitations of the physical plane. We do it every time we go to sleep. That's was a gimme. Even when you go to sleep, you're leaving. Okay, you're projecting. Even if you don't know it, that's what you're doing again. And in fact, they even possess the ability to leave their bodies when at will. It's called meditating. It's called meditating. Leave just and go. Body ain't going nowhere, but you can go anywhere you want. They was fluid with that. Okay, communicating mentally, telepathy. We can't do that no more. Back in the day, you can think of somebody and all of a sudden they come out. That's the power that we used to have because we don't use that God-given gift. He takes it away. And when you become multidimensional, we are multidimensional beings, but we have capabilities of exploring the cosmos, astral projecting. That's how. Not physically going out there. We need an astral suit. We need to goddamn all that spaceship stuff. No, you can do that all in your mind. George taught me that 50 years ago. Don't get started with that. All right. But this profound knowledge, again, of self, of higher self and consciousness, higher allowed you to transcend from ordinary experiences in the physical world existence and be able to tap into what we call the Akash, the Akashic records, the ability to know all, experience all in one thing. And that's a vast expansion of universal consciousness. Your consciousness become one with God. So now everything he know, you know. That's what they call tapping into. We call it the Akashic record, where everything known, everything experienced is there. Inside you. Okay. Excuse me. But our ancient Egyptian culture, they practiced various techniques of meditation to achieve what we call altered states. Some people use drugs. They use meditation, not libation. Okay, no, meditation. What's this? To become to alter states of consciousness, which such as, you ready? Meditation. I know this part about that. Rituals. Practice. Why? Because it leads, like today, Palm Sunday. Everybody go to church because it's Palm Sunday. Next week going to be Easter Sunday. Those are rituals. You got to practice them because it leads to staying in the mind. It gets you excited, it gets you all amped up about something, which is okay, but that's what it is. Okay, a ritual. And watch this. It's used for sacred plants. Also, ayahuasca, you put that combination, you drink that, you going, you tripping. Hell, LSD, you tripping. Mescaline, you tripping. Anything that would take the mind to another state is called altered states for a reason. You're high. You're going to another place. You're altering your thought process with alcohol, marijuana, whatever it is. Anything that's going to induce your thought process outside of meditation is a hindrance. That's what I was told. Now I go with that. I don't want to try the experiments. I done tried every drug they got. DMT. Anything that's going to, and I want to try that. Why? Just experience. For the experience. For the experience. And watch this. These practices enable you to be able to journey beyond the physical realm and gain insights from your higher dimensions. When I go into meditative state, I go to another level and I go and get information that I didn't study to get. That's how I'm tapping into another level of dimension. I've done that for myself, and they're saying the same thing in this book. And they believe that through astral projection, what's this? And other forms of spiritual explorations, rituals, they could access wisdom, guidance, and a deeper understanding of the universe as a whole, becoming one with it, one with God, aka the source. Now, everybody's seen these pictures. Okay. This is the Sumerians, the concept of the duality of the double. And this is the Romans. They had a concept of Janus. You know who Janus is? The month of the year, January, named after him. We'll get a little lesson about this guy. A lot of people know him. He's the two-faced God, okay? And then, for my Masada brothers, I got this one for you. I'm going to give it to you where you never got it before. I know how they're going to give it to you, but I got something for you. How about that? Let's go. So, astral projection, the symbolisms behind it. When we're examining our ancient Sumerian, first I showed you with the Sumerians, we often encounter figures that's depicted as double-headed humans. Okay? While some might interpret this wrong, these as literal representations of dual-faced individuals, but they are in fact symbolic, of achieving a godlike status. Here we go. Come on now. Oh, he got too fast. We used our cat and our car in Egypt, the two lions facing yesterday and tomorrow. Okay, we had it full understanding symbolically. We had the double tube, so this ain't the first time. I got mine. They got the eagles. I use them. They got Janus. I can work with him. The Sumerians, I'm doing them right now. But the ancient gods were not inherently different from us. Why? Because they was humans who had mastered themselves and got connected to the cosmos. They raised their conscious level to the next level, enabling them to be able to shift their consciousness into what other entities, other realities, dimensions at will. They're called shapeshifters, but thus operating in what? Both higher and lower worlds. I tell you, I got one hand connected with God, the other hand connected to my fellow humans. Why? I'm trying to take you to him. I'm the connection for me to you. I'm going to give you the information you need to get to him for yourself. I got that concept. Same thing. It's called a dual connection. You working in two areas. Led by the devil. He's connected to what? Granting wishes and giving you what? Gifts that you didn't know you had. He just waked up to your own gift, but he wants something in return. Okay? All the time. When that guy who wants to deal, don't deal with him. Why? If he wants something in return, don't deal with him. Moving on. The deal makers don't work. But they all have the ability to master themselves in one consciousness, and they are able to what? Within it all the essence of their divinity. This mastery over one's consciousness, knowing thyself, and all the planes within it is the essence of your true divinity. Okay, well, my nose was itching like crazy. All right, but now let's get down here to Janus. He was a Roman god. Y'all don't know much about him because he was a Roman god, so he got their own thing, unless you know about them. He represents by January, the month January, the new year. He was wrong, okay, but he was egotistical, and watch this. The symbolism of the later reflected of the Roman mythology, this is their story, with the god Janus, who is depicted with a double-faced head and a key, known as the god of doorways, meaning he was the one that connects you into heaven, obviously, okay, to get you to the next level. But these doorways was represented by portals, and the only true portal to other worlds and realms or planes is what? The one within ourselves. They keep looking for these stargates and portals. It's between the women's legs, fellas. We all know that. And it's also in our mind. And the double-faced head symbolizes one's ability to perceive and operate in the two realities simultaneously, aka walking and chewing gum. Okay. Janus holding the key signifies the knowledge and the understanding that grant one's the capability to be able to project their consciousness into a higher plane and other realities. January being the month named after Janus marks the beginning of what they consider the new year, like I say again is wrong, for the earth, representing the doorway to the new year. That's how he got to be the first month out there getting up. We know that spring starts the new year. We're in March. Now in spring, life begins. Not somebody's idea. No, nature, we go by that alarm clock. Okay, that's the one we guided by. And again, spring starts in April. But it's in March 20th. It's in a few days in. But we know April 1st, they call it April Fool's Day because y'all been duped. Starting with your boy Janus. Okay, that was his doing. But this symbolism, later, now we're going through cycles. It's moving from the Sumerians to the Romans. The Sumerians are ancient, okay, back with the Egyptians. They claim them to be the fire. I ain't going to argue that nonsense. But yeah, they were civilizations. They had the concept of God. They had a whole civilization they were doing. They had a belief system. Okay, and then the Romans came in, got theirs. Now we're going to talk about the Freemasons. I am a traveling man. And This here, 33rd degree. The way I understand it now, a lot totally different than what they taught me when he gave it to me. I'll leave that there. But let me do this right quick and get up out of here. Oh, yeah, this is just enough for me to get out. Let me rock this out. This symbol is later from Freemasonry. The double-headed eagle. The eagle facing east and west, past and future, whatever, yesterday, tomorrow, whatever acronym you want to use, whatever symbols you want to use, I get it, I understand it. But at 33 degrees, what happens? Do you know? That's the big secret. Bruce Lee gave the secret out, nobody know it. Become water, my friend. Frozen from 1 to 32, you're in a solid state, frozen. You're frozen, you're rigid, you're hard, you're not able to flex, you don't have self-mastery. You're being guided. At the 33rd degree, what happens? You become water, my friend. Did you hear it from that perspective, Masons? Okay, y'all, Mr. So Smart. Watch this. The 33 also, we know the vertebra and the backbone. Okay, but I'm doing another symbolical concept that we all don't get. Let me take it. Now, in the emblem of the 33rd degree Freemasonry, attaining 33rd degrees signifies what? That as the Freemason, you have reached the pinnacle. That means the top, the pyramid of what? Your illumination. What's illumination? Knowledge. Self-knowledge. That's what it's supposed to be, excuse me. And they call it enlightenment. Mastering what? Both themselves and their planes of consciousness within themselves. Hence, Master Masons. Hello? Got it? At this stage, the Freemason now embodies what? His God self. With what? Knowledge of self. They don't teach that way, but I'm just putting mine in. I know what it is now from a different perspective. I can give you the symbolism and behind it and give you a whole perspective. Hopefully a better one, because they ain't did too well with theirs. It's all so secret. So what's the? Excuse me, I forgot. It's a hustle. They got to get that money. All right, but with God's self, when man reaches the level of intellect, that's what he reaches. He becomes God-like. Just in Masonic order, they use a different concept. Speculative knowledge, meaning you're going to use the same tools that the operative Mason used, but we call it a more noble and glorious purpose for yourself to build yourself to be your best self. Same philosophy, just a different twist here and there. I just put mine on it. All right. But now that means you have achieved what? Comprehensive mastery over all aspects of yourself. I teach that in my Egyptian God and Goddess concept. That's what it's for, to give you understanding mentally, spiritually, and speculatively, where you can use it to better yourself eternally. That's what we build ourselves from the inside out. The same thing, but the Masons use it for their purpose to get that money. All right? And they got a bunch of good stuff in it. The truth is in there. They just play that game, which I don't like that game. Moving on. Where we at? Now, the double-headed eagle is also, again, rich in symbolism. Why? Do you know the story about the eagle, the bald eagle? We got the falcon in Egypt, the peregrine falcon. Y'all took the bald eagle because the history of the eagle. First of all, I love my dude. He got a few things, off a few years. I ain't gonna, but yeah, whatever. The eagle, 80 years. At 40, it goes up to what? Break his beak off and get a new beak, let the talons grow again, and get his fur back and become a new being. That's called reborn. Rebirth is symbolic of what's this, and this is why they use the eagle. Calm down. I hope you're paying attention, my Masonic brothers. Watch this. The double-headed eagle is rich in symbolism, particularly why? Noted because of its association with rebirth, okay, and renewal of one's what? Ability to survive. With his beak, dog, and his feathers fluffed up, he can't survive. He will die. So he had to make a decision, okay? Go up and do what you got to do. That's called reinventing himself, reconstructing himself, reborn. But in nature, watch this. This is part of nature. Nature, the edge, watch this. The eagle undergoes a profound, painful transformation. Oh, it's going to be some pain. around the age of, here he says 20. No, it's actually 40. Okay. And again, it's been proven 40 years for the eagle is when he starts to take off and go back, to rebuild, come back again. He got another 40 years to go. He ain't done unless he chooses to. If he lazy and don't do it, he gonna die. Simple. As what? As it breaks his beak, as his beaks become blunt, it ain't sharp, and its feathers become loose and their strength, and the eagle faces a critical choice containing continual struggling and face what? Eventual death, because you can't do things. That's like a 40-year-old man trying to do things he did at 20. That ain't gonna happen. But if he go get that beak taken care of, get his feather redone, he back like a 20-year-old again. He back to do his thing. Okay, that's the phrase of life. And that's why they use it symbolically to let the man know, oh, in 40 years you're gonna just go through transformation. Yeah. All symbolism again. But you can continue to struggle and face eventual death, or embark on that rigorous renewal tradition. They know about it. It's innate in them. The process. The eagle retreats to the mountains where it breaks its beak and plucks out its old feathers, and then it remains in this seclusion, being kept away. Why? It can't defend itself, it can't hunt, it can't do nothing, it's helpless. And it patiently have to wait for what? Its new beak to come in, this new feathers to grow in, and this rebirth allows now the eagle to what? Soar once more, okay, as if he was a young bird, and extending its life by another 2 decades, okay? Well, they say 2, another decade, it's really 4. But this natural process serves as a powerful metaphor symbolically for a human who's awakening to what? His transformative journey and to becoming what? A Freemason. This is the mind game they take you through, which is less little understanding, but you got to pay for it. Okay, let's wrap it up with this. In the context of Freemason, this journey through life from what we call darkness into light, ignorance into knowledge of self, reaching its what? Its zenith at what? The 33rd degree. Why 33? Because if you've been going through life up to 32, you've been stuck, you've been rigid, you free at 33. Become water, my friend. You're fluid now. You're able to what? Change and transform. That's the concept. Oh, I love this. But watch this. At this level, 33rd degree, the Freemasons now symbolically double-headed. Why? Because he have achieved the state of what we call ultimate enlightenment. What? Self-mastering both their inner self and their broader cosmos itself. The double-headed eagle, this represents the culmination of what? True transformation process, signifying the dual perspective and a higher wisdom that attained by those who have fully integrated and balanced, aka Mayat, duality within themselves, aka self-mastery. And in complementary times, the term they call y'all Luciferians. Lucifer is the light bearer. Y'all supposed to be getting light in the Masonic order, so they call them Luciferians. And this denotes the concept of what? Becoming one's own God. Remember, you know the story. But that's why they say they worship the devil. But due to misunderstandings, there you go, and interpretations, and the denominations of occult knowledge, many people shy away from this term. Mm-hmm. The general populace is often conditioned to remain within the 3 dimensions awareness of venturing beyond the limitations of the physical plane. However, that's why God is invisible. God is hidden from the visible sight. However, in Freemasonry, particularly at your higher degrees, in association with what? Nice Templar, I'm Sir Wright, I got my title. Individuals now strive to become what? Luciferians. That's what they're telling you. But the term, because it's understood by Lucifer, the devil, I knew that would happen. Watch this, I'm going to take it home. But the term Luciferian includes what? Lucid, derived from the what? Lucid, indicating what? That clear of what? Light. This is because when you're mastering one's inner realms of consciousness, intellect, leads to what? Lucidity of the mind, being conscious when all the time, even in the dream and astral state. That's why I try to get my point across. I hope you got the message. I enjoyed this lesson. Hope you did too. But I got to go. And in closing, my brothers and sisters, right thinkers make you be 100, me 100 miles today. So I know none of my right thinkers now who understand astral projection and astral projection symbolism in a better way have passed away. I'll be right back. You know I'm enjoying this. I hope you are.